Today we are going to begin painting our warm and cool colored trees. First, after we're done drawing our tree and we like how it looks, now we're going to decide what color we want to paint it. We can paint it gray or brown, but you have to mix the gray and the brown. So first you got to decide if you want gray or brown. I'm going to start out with the gray. We're going to be using, well, let me talk about how to mix the paints. So right here, this is a paint palette. Okay, what we're going to be using is we're going to be using some acrylic paint. Before we even touch any kind of paint or set up today, you're going to make sure that you have a placemat on your table and you're going to make sure you have an apron on your body. This paint right here will stain if you get it on your clothes. I repeat, this will stain if you get it on your clothes. Okay, so with that being said, after you get your apron and your placemat, you're going to have to get a palette. This is a palette of paint. And what we're going to do is we're going to put colors in here. Depending on what color paint you want, gray or brown, depends on how much color you have. What you're going to do is if you want paint, you pry open the top of this. Okay, you shake it down, and when you put paint in the palette, you are only squeezing a tiny bit of paint out into the palette. You do not need a lot at all. This is a perfect amount, like this. You are going to need your palette, you're going to need some paper towels, some brushes, and I suggest small brushes, do not use the red brushes for this, and some water. First I'm going to mix gray. Maybe you would like gray for your project. So you're going to take black and white and mix them together to make gray. You only need a teeny bit of black. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take a scoop of white, put it here, and then you're going to take a teeny bit of black. And you can share this between neighbors if you want to get a gray. If you like this gray, then paint with it. If you want it to be darker gray, you add more black. And if you want it to be lighter, you add more white. So now I have like a gray, a dark gray, and here I have a lighter gray. You're obviously going to have to add way a lot of white to this to make it really, really light in gray. So, on your learning guide, you are going to have to use paint to show how you made gray or brown for your tree. So if you were going to use gray for your tree, you're going to mix some gray and then you're going to paint in this circle gray. So I would paint this completely in gray and let it dry. If you want brown, you're going to paint this brown. And I'm going to show you how to paint this brown or get your color brown. Brown is a little trickier. You need to mix a variety of different colors together. So I suggest starting with blue and a little bit of orange, and you mix them together. And that kind of gets a brownish color. If you mix these together, you get a brown color. If you are liking the color, I would go back and add a little more to it to get a browner color. If you want it to be a little lighter, you're going to add a little bit of yellow. But brown and blue and orange really just do the trick. You get a really nice brown. If you want it to be a little lighter, okay, then you can add some orange. And if you want it even lighter than that, okay, so here's another color. If you want it lighter than that, you can add some white. So if you're going to use brown, and use brown as your color, then what you're going to do is you are going to get some blue, orange, and yellow if you want it lighter to mix your brown. Okay? So after you get your colors, then you are going to begin painting your tree. When you paint your tree, you want to make sure that you have some paint. Always wipe it off on the side of the palette, and then you're going to begin painting your tree. You can paint right over your pencil lines. When you paint, you really want to make sure that you lay down a good amount of paint and you smooth it out. You want it, when you go along the edge, make sure you have a good amount of paint on it and slowly go over the edge of the tree. You're going to paint the entire tree out of the circle and in the circle. So wherever you have drawn, if you drew little branches out of the circle, you're going to do that. And you're going to continue painting your whole tree until it is either brown or gray. You're not painting both. There is no need for you to have this much paint on your palette. I only have this much paint is because I showed you how to mix both colors. So in review, black and white make gray, blue, orange, and a little bit of yellow make brown. Now for the rest of the period, you are going to continue painting your tree. If you have any questions, please ask Mrs. Ford.